Okay, students. So, we have already discussed what ionic bonds are and how they form, and you are familiar with the ionic lattices as well. So, now we are going to discuss the second type of bond, that is covalent bonds. From the name, you all can understand covalent. So, that means the atoms that are involved in bonding are sharing the valency, covalent bonds. So, if we look at what that is, joining of atoms by sharing electrons between a pair of atoms. So, that's the important thing. Sharing electrons between a pair of atoms is referred to as a covalent bond. And so, here also, by sharing of electrons like this, the atoms acquire the noble gas electronic configuration. So, for example, if we take a certain bond, let's say a bond where there are two hydrogen atoms involved. Now you can remember the hydrogen atom has one electron in its valence shell. This hydrogen also has one electron in the valence shell. So for them to get the electronic configuration similar to helium, you can remember that is the noble gas in the same period that has the stable electronic configuration. Both hydrogens need one electron each. So then losing or gaining electrons, what they do is they share the electrons. So here is the hydrogen, the second hydrogen. So here what happens is the energy levels of the two atoms overlap and there they share the electrons. Here I am showing the crosses so that just to explain it to you all, but normally we will be using dots to denote the electrons. So here they are sharing the electrons. Sharing the electrons. And in this, you can see one electron is given by one hydrogen atom and the second electron is given by the other hydrogen atom. So, both of them contribute their valency. So, covalent bond. And this can be found between atoms of the same element or atoms of different elements. Based on that, we will be classifying covalent bonds into two types. Now we will move on to that. So here, sharing of electrons between atoms of the same kind gives rise to what we call as the homoatomic molecules. So sharing of electrons between atoms of the same kind gives rise to homoatomic molecules. Homoatomic molecules. Homo means the same type that you know already. So, homoatomic molecules. The examples of these are usually the elements that exist in the molecular form. So, can you think of some of those elements? Now, one I explained to you all before, H2 gas. So, two hydrogen atoms combine and form H2 gas. So, that's a diatomic molecule, and because both are hydrogen atoms, they are homoatomic molecules. And the bond present is covalent bond. Same goes for fluorine, F2 gas. Then you can think of Cl2 gas, chlorine gas. Like that N2, nitrogen gas. O2, oxygen gas. All these. Not only gases, there can be liquids as well as solids also. But atoms of the same element form covalent bonds among themselves. So, those are the homoatomic molecules. Then, if sharing of electrons between atoms of different elements gives rise to heteroatomic molecules. If there are different atoms, we call them as heteroatomic molecules. So, atoms from different elements and they combine in different ratios based on their valency. That is how we get the chemical formula that you know. So the compounds formed from atoms of different elements are all examples of heteroatomic molecules. So some of those examples that are familiar to you, H2O. H2O is liquid, that is water. Then you can consider another example, ammonia. NH3, this is a gas. So water, ammonia, even methane, CH4, that is also a gas, and that's methane. That again is a heteroatomic molecule. Now here you can see these are simple molecules. H2O, NH3, CH4, all of them contain covalent bonds within them. So the H and O bond, OH bond is going to be a covalent bond there. Here it is going to be the NH bond. And here this is going to be the CH bond. So these are simple molecules, but you are already familiar with very large molecules, the biomolecules. You know carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, nucleic acids, they also have this covalent bond. So covalent bond can lead to simple molecules or very large molecules, but they are all covalent compounds. So when it comes to heteroatomic molecules, they give rise to compounds, and homoatomic molecules give rise to elements. So I'm sure you can understand that introduction. With that, now we will move on to understand how these covalent bonds are formed. So to understand that, we have the fluorine molecule first. I will read this and explain it to you all. By sharing a pair of electrons, two fluorine atoms acquire the stable electronic configuration. So always you all know the purpose of atoms of elements forming bonds is to achieve or acquire the stable electronic configuration. What is the other name given to that? Noble gas electronic configuration. The result of this is the bonding of two fluorine atoms covalently to form the fluorine molecule. So when atoms bond covalently, they form molecules. Now we will try to understand how that happens. So students, you already know the first 20 elements of the periodic table. You know their atomic number and you know to write their electronic configuration. So fluorine, what is the atomic number of fluorine? It is 9. So if you write the electronic configuration, it's going to be 2, 7. And what is the valency? Is 1. So because if it takes up 1 electron, it can complete the energy levels. So that will give rise to the noble gas electronic configuration. So valency 1. That means here the fluorine atom is going to share 1 electron only. So like this, there are going to be 2 fluorine atoms. So here what is shown to you all are the fluorine atoms with their energy levels. So this is the nucleus of the fluorine atom. In the first shell, there are 2 electrons. And in the second shell, we will see that there are 7 electrons. And out of those 7 electrons, can you all see, these 3 electrons are paired. And there is 1 electron that is just a single electron. If that also gets another electron, it will become paired and they will be like a noble gas. Same goes for the second fluorine. I will denote the electrons with a different color. So here also in the first energy level, there are 2 electrons, 2. Then in the second energy level, there are 7 electrons. So here there is again 1 single electron. So when these two come closer, Initially, due to the negative charges of electrons, they might try to push each other, but that will be overcome by the atoms. And then what will happen is, here you can see the energy levels are separate. But once they come very close, the energy levels or the shells will overlap like that. And within that common energy level, the two electrons will be bonded together. That is how the covalent bond forms. So here, if we denote the electrons again, now in this first fluorine, there are 2 electrons in the first shell, then there are 6 electrons in the second shell that are not involved in bonding. But here, this electron involves in bonding. Same goes for the second fluorine. So, here also there are 2 electrons in the first shell and there are 6 electrons in the second shell that are not involved in bonding. 1 electron forms the bond. Now, can you all see? These 2 electrons now become common to both the atoms. So, if you count the number of electrons here and here, you can see 2, and because there are 8 there, this achieves the noble gas electronic configuration. Same goes for this one. You can see in the first shell there are 2 and here this has 8. Why? 2, 4, 6, 2 electrons that have been shared. So, because of that, they have achieved the noble gas configuration. Noble gas configuration. Students, when you write the bond formation between fluorine atoms, you don't have to write all these. Here, I am writing it to explain what happens there, so that you can understand by sharing electrons, they achieve the noble gas stable electronic configuration. Is it clear to you all now? So, this is the fluorine molecule. So, this is F2 molecule. And so, you know F2 molecule is a diatomic gas. So, 2 fluorines combine forming a covalent bond and achieving the stable electronic configuration. Is that clear to you all? So, with that, we will try to understand some other examples as well. So, is this first one, is it a homoatomic molecule or a heteroatomic molecule? These are homoatomic molecules. So, here it forms homoatomic molecules. Homoatomic molecule. Is that okay, students? So, with that, we will move on to the next slide. So, then we have another example. I already discussed this with you all. Hydrogen molecule. A hydrogen atom has 1 electron. 2 hydrogen atoms share their electrons between them, each acquiring the stable electronic configuration of helium. This gives rise to the hydrogen molecule in which the 2 hydrogen atoms are joined by a covalent bond. So, here again, if we write the electronic configuration, this is the most simplest atom. So, electronic configuration is 1. So, you know valency is 1. There is only 1 electron around the nucleus of hydrogen. So, if we denote that electron, this one, and the electron of this hydrogen is here. So, again, the atoms come closer, then the energy levels overlap so that the electrons can be shared among the 2 atoms. So, here this is the bond where the electrons are shared among the 2 atoms between the common shell. So, their hydrogen has formed the covalent bond. So, covalent bond. that gives rise to H2 molecule. And what is this again? This is an element, so it's a homoatomic molecule because atoms of the same element. Is that clear to you all now? And here you can see from H, 1 electrons, now they have 2 electrons each. So similar to helium, because you know helium has 2 electrons in its first shell, and that is also a noble gas. Is it clear to you all, students? So then with that I will move on to the next example. So the next example is water. So water molecule, you all know the chemical formulae of water. What is it? H2O. So there is one oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen atoms. An oxygen atom shares 2 pairs of electrons with 2 hydrogen atoms forming 2 single bonds, giving rise to the water molecule. So there are 2 pairs because if you can look at the chemical formulae, there are 2 OH bonds. So oxygen bonds with 2 hydrogens forming 2 covalent bonds. In each bond there is a pair of electrons. That is why 2 pairs of electrons with 2 hydrogen atoms forming 2 single bonds. Here you have to note this term, single bonds. If there is just one pair of electrons shared between 2 atoms in a covalent bond, we call it a single bond. So now let's see how this is formed. So already you are familiar with the electronic configuration. Hydrogen has just 1 electron. Then oxygen, atomic number 8, and the electronic configuration is 2, 6. And what is the valency? 2. That is why it has to combine with 2 hydrogen atoms in order to fulfill the valency. So now let's say how the bond forms. So this is for oxygen. You can see the nucleus here, and if we fill the electrons, there are 2 electrons in the first energy level and there are 6 electrons in the second energy level. Now here can you see there are 6 electrons. We need to get 2 more electrons so that the second shell has 8 electrons like the noble gas neon. Then if we take hydrogen, hydrogen has only 1 electron in its first energy level. And you all know when they combine, they form 2 single bonds. So here you can see 1 hydrogen on this side and 1 hydrogen here. So here we have the electron here and the other electron from hydrogen there. So then we will fill up the electrons that are coming from oxygen. Oxygen has 2 electrons in the first energy level and it has 2 electrons. So one is given to this hydrogen forming this covalent bond and the other electron given to the second hydrogen forming the second covalent bond. In addition to that, you can see there were altogether 6 electrons. So the other 4 electrons will be here. In this, you can see this is a pair of electrons involved in bonding. Again, this is a pair of electrons involved in bonding. So these 2 pairs of electrons are called this and this. They are known as bond pair electrons. So here can you see, students, there are 2 pairs of electrons and oxygen that are not involved in bonding, and those are known as non-bonding lone pairs. So this is a non-bonding lone pair. So if you look at the water molecule, there are 2 single bonds. Oxygen is bonded with hydrogen, so there is OH bond. Like that, there are 2 OH bonds, and then once the bonds form, all the atoms satisfy the noble gas electronic configuration. Hydrogen has 2 electrons, oxygen has 8 electrons. And if you look at the oxygen atom, there are 2 bond pair electrons and 2 non-bonding lone pair electrons. Is that clear to you all students? And you might be wondering why we have arranged these atoms in a certain angular manner. That is because always when bond forms in a molecule, the electrons arrange in such a way that they don't interact too much or repulse too much in the molecule. All that is not discussed in detail in this grade. You will learn that in your later higher grades. But for now, just understand when we have lone pairs and bond pairs, this is how they arrange themselves. Is that clear to you all students? So, in a water molecule, there are 2 OH bonds that you can see. And there are 2 non-bonding lone pairs of electrons on oxygen. And what type of a molecule is this? This is a compound, so it is a heteroatomic molecule, and this is a heteroatomic molecule. So those are the things, students, that you need to understand. If they tell you to draw the covalent bonds formed in a certain molecule, you start with the electronic configuration, then it's easy, you know the valency, then you combine the electrons, and once you do that, you can identify the type of bonds that are present there, as well as the lone pairs. And also, when you fill up the electrons, you can check and see whether all the atoms gain the noble gas electronic configuration. Is that clear to you all now? So then we will move on to the next example, that is ammonia molecule. So when we say ammonia molecule, it is NH3. So one nitrogen bonds with 3 hydrogen atoms. So there are also, you can see NH bond. H has valency 1, so it will be a single bond. 3 hydrogen atoms share 3 pairs of electrons with a nitrogen atom. This leads to the formation of an ammonia molecule which has 3 single bonds. Again, here there are 3 single bonds. So then, hydrogen you already know, it has only 1 electron. And nitrogen, the atomic number 7, so it is 2, 5. So you can see valency 3. It has to gain or share 3 electrons so that it completes the shell. So here it is the sharing of electrons. Now we will fill up the electrons here. This is the nitrogen atom. So in the first shell there are 2 electrons. And in the second shell there are 5 electrons. So 4, then there are 5 electrons. Is that okay? That is the nitrogen atom. Then we have 3 hydrogen atoms there. So when you have the electrons, hydrogen has only 1, so it's easy to fill it up. 1 nitrogen with 3 hydrogen atoms. When the compound forms or the molecule of ammonia forms, each hydrogen combined with the nitrogen forming 3 bonds. So here you can see the 3 bonds. There will be 1 electron from hydrogen, another electron for this bond from hydrogen, and the electron from hydrogen for this bond. With that, nitrogen also contributes an electron. So here you can see 3 bonds, NH bonds. This is the formation of NH bond. Like that, there are 3 single bonds, NH single bond. Is that all? There are 2 more electrons on nitrogen. So those electrons will be here. So what do you know now? There are 3 bond pair electrons and there is 1 lone pair, non-bonding lone pair electron. Can you understand that? Then if you count the total number of electrons, hydrogens have 2 each, so they have the stable configuration. 2, 4, 6, 8. Now nitrogen also has 8 electrons. So again, stable electronic configuration. So in this molecule also, both nitrogen as well as hydrogen achieve the noble gas electronic configuration. Is that okay, students? So then we will move on to the next example where we look at methane molecule, methane or methane. So you know the chemical formula of methane, CH4. 1 carbon with 4 hydrogens. So that again has 4 single bonds. Carbon, hydrogen, single bond. 4 hydrogen atoms share 4 electrons with a carbon atom, forming a methane molecule with 4 single bonds. So you have to remember that. 4 single bonds. You will understand why we need to say single bonds when we discuss the other type of bonds in a while. So here again, carbon, you know the electronic configuration, atomic number 6, so electronic configuration 2, 4. And the valency 4. That is why it needs to form 4 bonds. So if we fill up the electrons here, carbon has 2 electrons in the first shell, 2 there, and there are 4 electrons in the second energy level or the shell. So then hydrogens, they have 1 electron each. 1 electron each. So when the bond forms, each electron from carbon and 1 electron from hydrogen combine and share and form the covalent bond. So I will mark the electrons of hydrogen first. Then the electrons that are shared by carbon or contributed by carbon for the sharing and forming of covalent bonds. Now can you all see? Again, if you look at all the atoms, 2 electrons for all the hydrogens. So the energy level is full. So it is similar to helium. And carbon, 2, 4, 6, 8. So that also has a complete energy level. And it has the 2 electrons in the first shell as well. So 2 electrons in the first shell, 8 electrons in the second shell. So that is a stable electronic configuration. Now in this, there are only 4 carbon-hydrogen bonds. And if you look at carbon, there are no non-bonding lone pairs. All are bond pair electrons. Is that clear to you? So this is a difference between both water and ammonia. They had lone pairs. But methane, there are no lone pairs. Only 4 carbon-hydrogen single bonds. Is that okay, students? So that is the methane molecule. So with that, I will move on to another example where we discuss hydrogen chloride molecule. What is hydrogen chloride? HCl in the gaseous state. You are familiar with HCl? That is hydrochloric acid when it is in the liquid state or the solution. Usually we use hydrochloric acid solution. But HCl in the gaseous state, that is known as hydrogen chloride molecule. So here, the hydrogen chloride molecule is formed by the sharing of a pair of electrons. So it's only one bond between a chlorine atom and a hydrogen atom. Again, very easy to understand. Hydrogen only has 1 electron, whereas chlorine, it's 17. So Here if you write the electronic configuration 2, 8, 7 and it belongs to group 7, valency 1. So they will both form one covalent bond between them. If we fill up the electrons, for chlorine, the first shell, there are 2 electrons. The second shell has 8 electrons. That shell is complete. And the last shell, you can see, has 7 electrons. So if this gets paired, it will become stable. At the same time, hydrogen has 1 electron. So they will share the 2 electrons. Chlorine will give 1 electron, hydrogen will give 1 electron. So when the bond forms, you can see the electron from hydrogen and the electron from chlorine. But we have to fill up the rest of the electrons. So here chlorine has 2 in the first shell. It has 8 electrons in the second shell. Another 3 pairs of electrons that are not involved in bonding. So here, when you look at the chlorine atom, it has 8 electrons in its third energy level. But out of those 8, there is only 1 bond pair electron. Here you can see this is bond pair electron. And what is that bond? HCl, single bond. At the same time, if you take the chlorine atom, it has 3 non-bonding lone pair electrons. So with that only, the total number becomes 8. So that is also a single bond, a heteroatomic molecule. Is that okay, students? So a compound that is a heteroatomic molecule. I am sure now you can understand how you should write the covalent bond formation between atoms of different elements or the same element. With that, I will move on to another example, carbon tetrachloride. So carbon tetrachloride, carbon and 4 chlorine atoms, carbon tetrachloride. So there again you will see there are 4 single bonds. Why? The valency of carbon you know is 4, carbon 6. So if you write the electronic configuration 2, 4 and chlorine 17, electronic configuration 2, 8, 7. And the valencies you know, carbon has valency 4, chlorine has valency 1. So when they combine, they form 4 single bonds, carbon-chlorine bonds. So the carbon tetrachloride molecule is formed due to the sharing of 4 pairs of electrons between a carbon atom and 4 chlorine atoms. So that is what is denoted here. We will first fill up the electrons of carbon. So in the first shell, there are 2 electrons. And in the second shell, there are 4 electrons, but 4 bonds are forming. So all the electrons are involved in bonding. So one to this chlorine, the other one to this chlorine, to the third chlorine and the fourth chlorine. Then we will fill up the electrons of chlorine. So chlorine again, in the first shell, it has 2 electrons. In the second shell, it has 8 electrons. And in the last shell, there were 7 electrons. Out of those, it gives 1 electron for bonding. And therefore, it will have another 3 pairs of electrons. So there are 3 lone pairs of electrons on chlorine. Same for all the chlorine atoms. If we fill the number of electrons 2 in the first energy level, 8 in the second energy level, and 1 goes for bonding from the third energy level. So you have 3 pairs of electrons or 6 electrons that are not involved in bonding. So if you count the total number, 2 here, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. So all of them have complete energy level similar to the noble gas. Then this chlorine, the same thing. 2 electrons, 6, 8 electrons in the second shell, and there are 3 lone pairs or non-bonded pairs of electrons in the last energy level. What is that called? That is the valence shell. So in the valence shell, there are 3 lone pair of electrons and 1 bond pair of electrons. Then this chlorine. Again, there are 2, 8 in the second shell and 6 electrons in the third shell. So, and 1 electron involved in bonding. Is that okay, students? So, here you can see all the atoms have obtained their stable electronic configuration because they have 8 electrons each. If you take carbon, now it has electronic configuration 2, 8. This is similar to neon. That also has electronic configuration 2, 8. So, noble gas electronic configuration, that is stable. Then if you take chlorine, now chlorine has 2, 8, 8. Similar to what? Noble gas argon, 2, 8, 8. So, once they form the bond, it's not that they gain the electron or lose the electron, they are sharing the electrons. But after sharing, when they have complete energy levels, they resemble one of the noble gases. Is that clear to you all, students? So, you should be able to identify that as well. So far, we have discussed all single bonds because all the bonds between the atoms of the molecule were single bonds. Just 1 pair of electron shared between 2 atoms. And under that, we discuss some homoatomic molecules which are elements and heteroatomic molecules that are compounds. Now, I will move on to other type of bonds where there are more than 1 pair of electrons shared between 2 atoms. Then we call them as, depending on the number of electrons, it can be either double bond or triple bond. So then, the next example is oxygen molecule. So, oxygen again is an element. So, it's oxygen molecule, homoatomic molecule. So, it's an element. And when forming the oxygen molecule, 2 oxygen atoms share 2 pairs of electrons. So, that is something new now. 2 pairs of electrons between them. So, between just 2 atoms, 2 pairs are being shared. So, then, since 2 pairs of electrons are shared, the bond is known as double bond. 2 bonds between the 2 oxygen atoms. So, to understand that, again we write the electronic configuration 2, 6. So, anyway you know valence is 2. So, we will fill up the electrons here. Here you can see the first energy level has 2 electrons and the second energy level has 6 electrons. So, there are 6 electrons there. Same goes for the second oxygen molecule. First energy level has 2 electrons and the second energy level, that is the valence shell, has 6 electrons. So, here you can see these two are not bonded or are not paired. So those two can combine and form one bond. These two can combine and form another bond. So there will be a double bond between the oxygen atoms. So when we fill in the oxygen, 2 electrons are given by this oxygen. So that has 2 electrons here and 2 have already been given for bonding. So there are another 2 pairs of electrons. With that, electrons from the other oxygen, that also has 2 electrons there. Then it is going to give 2 electrons for bonding. And here there are 2 non-bonded lone pairs of electrons. Now if you count the total number, 2, 4, 6, 8. So if there had been a sharing of just a pair of electrons, they will not get the 8 complete electrons. So in order to achieve that, what they do is they share 2 pairs. So that gives rise to a double bond. So then there are 2 lone pairs. So oxygen, oxygen, double bond is formed. Same goes for this oxygen as well. 2, 4, 6, 8 electrons are there. So we can say oxygen, oxygen, double bond. We will be discussing how to write the structures of all these molecules. Here I have just indicated that there are 2 bonds, 2 covalent bonds. So 2 covalent bonds. That is what we call as double bonds. Is that clear to you all, students? At the same time, both oxygen have 2 pairs of non-bonded electrons. Electrons that are not involved in bonding. Is it clear to you all? So with that, I will move on to the next example. So the next molecule that has more than a single bond is nitrogen molecule. Now here you can see 2 nitrogen atoms form a nitrogen molecule by sharing 3 pairs of electrons. The valency of nitrogen, you all know, is 3. So it needs to share 3 pairs of electrons between them. And since 3 pairs of electrons are shared, such a bond is called a triple bond. So you know the difference now. Single bond, double bond, triple bond. So now let's see how the bond forms. And you know N2 is nitrogen gas. So nitrogen, you all know the atomic number is 7. So valency 2, 5. There should be 2 electrons in the first shell. I will note that here. And there are 5 electrons in the second shell. So you can see the 5 electrons. There are 2 here, 3, 4, 5. Same goes for the second nitrogen atom as well. In the first shell, there are 2 electrons. And in the second shell, there are 5 electrons. So these 3 electrons bond with these 3 electrons. So a total of 6 electrons will be there. That means 3 pairs. So 3 bonds, that is known as triple bonds. If I denote the electrons here, this has 2 electrons in the first shell and there are 3 electrons given for bonding. I will show that here. The 3 electrons used for bonding. So there will be 1 non-bonded lone pair electrons. Why? Altogether there are 5. So then that is shared with the electrons from the other nitrogen atom. That also has 2 electrons in the first shell. So this will contribute 3 electrons for the bond. So can you see 2, 4, 6 electrons are there? The triple bond. And there will be a lone pair on this nitrogen. So now if you count the total number of electrons, 2, 4, 6, 8. So complete shell. Same goes for this nitrogen, 2, 4, 6, 8. So it has a stable electronic configuration. So there is a triple bond between nitrogens. So this is the triple bond. And there are lone pairs. Is it clear to you all students now? If there is a single bond, one bond between two atoms, only one pair of electrons are shared. If it is a double bond, two bonds are there, so 4 electrons. 2 pairs of electrons are shared between two atoms. And like in nitrogen, if it is a triple bond, there are 3 pairs of electrons, 6 electrons in total. I'm sure you can understand that now. So with that, we have completed the discussion on how these covalent bonds form. So covalent bond means sharing of valency or sharing of electrons. So then under that we saw some homoatomic molecules as well as heteroatomic molecules. And now you're familiar with how the bond forms and how electrons are shared and how many bonds are possible. So under that we have the single bond, double bond and triple bond. So after this we will discuss an assignment. Thereafter we will move on to a new topic. So then this is an activity displaying covalent bonds. So the requirements are styrofoam. This should have been RO, styrofoam. Styrofoam you know is regiform, right? Or what we call as polystyrene. Styrofoam, then we need beads of various colors, markers and glue. So this is what you all are going to do. Take a styrofoam sheet and draw the molecules A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I that you studied above and show creatively the formation of covalent bond using beads for the electrons and display your work in the class. So here, like a two-dimensional structure, you are going to represent the molecules. So that is one way of doing it. On the styrofoam regiform sheet, you can draw the shells, energy levels, you can denote the electrons using all these different beads of different colors and you can show how the bonds are formed and you can display it in class. So this is an activity that you are supposed to do where you use the styrofoam and beads, again here styrofoam and beads to display the covalent bonds. Similar to that, students, in the lab, if you look at the different modeling sets, there are sets that are used to show the bond formation between atoms. You can use clay balls with sticks or toothpicks to connect the clay balls. You can use clay balls of different colors and then you can make these different molecules. So I have just got one here that I can show it to you. Here you can see this is a water molecule. You can see the oxygen there and the hydrogens. You can use the beads and sticks to show the bond. So like that you can use your own creativity to make these different models. I am sure you will do it well. So with that I have completed this chapter, but in the next one we will be discussing how we can represent molecules of covalent bonds or covalent compounds.